So while Ted Cruz abandoned Texas and his own dog Snowflake in the cold to go to Cancun, AOC and Beto O'Rourke raised over $1 million for charity and helped a lot of seniors at the same time in Texas. Right off the top, Ted Cruz is still lying about why he went on this trip and how long he was planning to stay. I want to play you a clip from him last night on Fox News.
We lost power for 2 days. Our house was dark. We had no heat. Actually, the fireplace behind me, we were all huddled around the fireplace because it was the only heat in the house. And after a couple of days, after the girls being really cold, it being in the teens and the 20s outside, our girls said, look, school's been canceled for the week. Can we take a trip and go somewhere warm? And Heidi and I, as parents, we said, okay, sure. And so last night I flew down with them to the beach, and then I flew back this afternoon. I had initially planned to stay through the weekend and to work remotely there, but as I was heading down there, I started to have second thoughts almost immediately, because the crisis here in Texas, you need to be here on the ground, and as much as you can do by phone and Zoom, it's not the same as being here. And so I returned this afternoon, and I'm here working to make sure to do everything we can to get the power turned on, but also fundamentally to ask the questions, why did this happen?
So can you spot the lie there? Because I certainly can. He's telling the same basic story, which is that we were cold, we were freezing, our daughters wanted to get out of here and go somewhere nice, we wanted to be good parents, so we took them to Cancun. But here's the thing. One, Ted Cruz said that he was planning to go for one night only yesterday, but in that clip last night, he admits that he was planning to work there remotely through the rest of the week, indicating that he was actually planning to stay before it blew up on him politically and he rushed back to Texas. Also, Cruz's wife's text last night indicated that they were staying at a friend's place keeping warm, meaning that they didn't necessarily need to be huddling around their own fireplace. But beyond all that, while this was breaking, the internet truly lost it because Ted Cruz abandoned his dog. This was from New York Magazine and other sources. You can see the pictures on the screen right now. Ted Cruz abandoned his little poodle, Snowflake, at the house while his family went to Cancun, and it was cold and dark and freezing. And you can see this sad little picture of this poor puppy just like sitting there looking outside, no one there with them, just feeling awful, abandoned by Ted Cruz and Heidi Cruz and the Cruz family. Just the optics are awful. You know, it's always a cliche, but often people will get most angry of all when people are mean to animals more than mean to other people, and that might be the case here as well. But I don't want to make this story purely negative, really, because one of the arguments that a lot of conservative defenders made in trying to, protect Ted Cruz here was saying, what could Ted Cruz actually do? Yeah, he's a senator, he's an important guy, but minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, what could he do on the ground in Texas to make life better for his constituents? So, if the answer is nothing, then don't worry about it. He can go to Cancun. But Beto O'Rourke and AOC have shown that you could do a lot. Beto O'Rourke made a ton of phone calls to seniors and other vulnerable people, and AOC raised over $1 million in 4 hours for various Texas charities. I want to read you a couple tweets from these figures. AOC puts out a tweet here yesterday at around 5:45 Eastern. She says, our first effort is a partnership with 5 Texas organizations getting on the ground relief to Texans ASAP. If you're able, please donate here. It'll split your contribution to all 5. 100% goes to them. And then less than 4 hours later, she tweets the following. Wow, we officially raised $1 million for Texas relief at 9:17 p.m. So really 3.5 hours. Thank you all so much. I'm at a loss for words. always in awe of movement work. 100% of this relief is going straight to Texas food assistance, homelessness relief, elder care, and more. And Beto O'Rourke added this, both thanking AOC and touting some of his own work. He says, big thanks to the volunteers who made over 784,000 phone calls to senior citizens in Texas today. You helped to connect them with water, food, transportation, and shelter, and you made sure that they knew we were thinking about them and that they matter to us. Good night. And he follows it up also by saying, thank you at AOC and everyone who contributed in this drive to help the people of Texas. We are grateful to you. And so that's what Ted Cruz could have done. He could have done this sort of thing. These people aren't as prominent as Ted Cruz. Beto O'Rourke was a congressman, but now he's just a private citizen. And AOC, of course, is very popular and very well known, but she doesn't have anything to do with Texas. Ted Cruz is the sitting senator, one of the 2 sitting senators for Texas. He could have spearheaded charity relief. He could have spearheaded help to the homeless, to the elderly, to all of those people. And he chose to do none of it. He chose to do none of that and instead abandoned his dog Snowflake and the people of Texas for a luxury vacay at the Ritz Carlton in Cancun. Like, that's so typical. So when Republicans want to talk to you about charity and saying, oh, we don't need the government because charity will take care of it, well, it seems like the Republicans don't want to do that either, eh?